All right. Hello. Welcome back to another legal investigations. I'm Jake Light, your gaming lawyer at your service, and we are going to be looking into Skeb. Also, a stretch. I kind of stretch. My body is relaxed. Right. My mind might not be relaxed, but my body is fully relaxed. I had a good sleep. In any case, yes. Oof. Thank you for the headband and thank you for the wake up call, Sam. And yeah, we'll be trying to look into a website called Skeb. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with this website. Do let me know because I'm not familiar with it at all, other than cursory notice of people using it. But this is why am I doing this is because someone from my Twitch subs have requested me to look into this one. I think people don't know about this, but people who are sub to me are able to access a part of the Discord server, and one of the perks that you all have is that you may request things for me to play, and I'll take them more. I will put them more of a priority to look into rather compared to just a general viewer requesting. In any case, yeah. So that's why, and apparently it's not it's quite a popular site, despite it being a Japanese-based company. And like most of it's let me check, is it in English though? Yeah, I mean, general website here looks like it's easy enough for even non-Japanese speaking users to use. But yeah, and also of course they have an English guide for this, right? But we're not looking into that one. We're looking to what you call what exactly are your obligations, when you're using Skeb, either as a person that creates art or is paying for art commissions. So there's some sort of a I would say misunderstanding happening because of well, first of all, not a lot of people read the terms and conditions, and the second thing is, yes, the terms and conditions is unfortunately mostly in Japanese. They have some sort of translation, but it's not word for word, right? It's just a description of what the terms are supposed to mean, because they have the privacy policy, and I think some of these are just referring to company details as well as probably in compliance with laws and something like that they have to like give out these specific details of payment services, commercial transactions, right? We're looking to specifically only a few documents, which is the terms of service over here, right? Then we are going to be looking into the creator guidelines, right? Meaning to say, if you're someone who creates art using Skeb to I don't know, probably get some income, because this website is supposed to it's like a platform for all artists to be in, but for a very niche interest or industry, no marketplace. We'll look into why is that in a sec, and also we're looking into client guidelines, which is strangely is the one of the few only documents that is fully in English. There's no Japanese. Probably there is Japanese version of that. Oops. Yeah, there is the Japanese version of the thing, maybe. But we're looking to one that is provided in English. apologies. All right. Do have to remind everyone again that this is a rough understanding or rough going through of the website. So there might be a lot of things that might be not accurate. So more or less, this is we are in the same position, you and I. Well, even though I'm a lawyer, this is not going to be any better than someone who is reading with a translator or with a legal dictionary. So take note of that. But in any case, well, I'll try my best. At least the very thing I did before we started is I made a Google translation of the entire text of the terms of service as well as the creator guidelines. All right, so we have some sort of understanding, at least. Rough, very, very rough, because I've seen how it is being translated. Some of the sentences don't make sense, and we just have to like really guess. Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. I have to say, we have to guess what they mean. But some are pretty simple, some are pretty straightforward, and I'm glad the ones that I think are important are straightforward. Anyways, so yeah, before we start with that, rough translation, we just go through here. They have like an explanation of what the terms and conditions are. So first and foremost, they have here, they put in, this is not translated, okay? This is not translated. This is, check. Oh, thank you for the posture check. This is what they wrote themselves, all right? Well, it is written by Skeb themselves. Generally, important points that the user needs to know are posted on the right-hand side. If there is a difference between the terms of the use and generally, then the terms of service will take precedence. So this is very common, right? If a legal document has multiple different languages, right? They will normally point out which document is the one that you need to refer to, right? Which takes precedence, which language takes precedence. Like the one that has the legal binding, legal effect, the most legal effect, the one you have to comply with. So with this sentence on the left side here, I don't know why they put generally in that sense. Oh, thank you for the raid, Edia Fever. Welcome. I'm going to give you a shout out. Sorry, I'm a bit sniffy today. I don't know why. Maybe it's because yesterday I cried. But I'm fine. What were you doing? My shout out doesn't show you what you were doing. I don't know why you cried. I cried playing a game. It's nothing big, but most of it is happy crying. But yeah, let me also give you this type of shout out. And yeah. So it's actually to L. Oh, okay. You are talking about a game, is it? But yeah, wait, wrong? Wait, oh, I think let me check. It's not, okay. Did I type it wrong? Maybe that's why. Okay, Tales of Symphonia, alright. Good game, I think. I think the only bad Tales game is the one I only I played, which is Zesperia or something. Wait, not Zesperia. I think it starts with X or something. Zestria. They all sound very similar. All right, good. That's the correct spelling. And yeah, for those that are new here, I'm Jay Client, Gaming Lawyer to Service. I do all kinds of things. Variety content creator, but right now we're doing something called legal investigations. It's just a live seminar where I go through all sorts of legal documents, legal entities, and everything about it, and we see if I'm capable of bringing some explanation, enlightenment to people who don't usually read these things in a rather simplified manner. This is the first game of Tales that I tried. Oh, then that's good. That's good. I've heard it is one of the better ones. So yeah. So right now we're looking to Skeb, and I think a lot of global users are starting to use it, starting to try this out, since it's a simplistic way of getting an art commission work done, as I would say probably a safe platform as well, because all transactions has to go through this website, and they I believe have their own type of currency to use. So yeah, it's like the Lazada, Amazon, what's the other thing called? Those sort of like websites that sell and buy stuff, but you go through a middleman of sorts. At least that's what I understand. I've never used Skeb before. I've only seen people use it, and yeah, that's what. So if anyone in the chat knows a lot more about knows more about Skeb than me, feel free to let me know. Right, I'm probably making a lot of assumptions or making a lot of mistakes, so better for all of us to understand it much better. A legal document always complicated for normal people like me. No worries, no worries. It's I would say it's a normal thing, and it's something that people don't really consider much. So even if, let's say, you're really good at reading the English language or anything really, legal documents are always a different kind of monster because of how they are structured, right? But people are just intimidated most of the time, and as long as we take it slow and read it normally like any other person, and also having someone explain a bit on why this is here, why is it worded in this way, it should be very understandable. It should help you with reading all kinds of other different legal documents as well. So that's the purpose of this live seminar, is to help people, other than understand this specific types of legal documents, is also to let let people know that it's not too complicated, it's not too serious, it's not too hard to understand, right? And yeah, so this platform is where I will help people if they approach me with anything, with any documents. Maybe they have like an employment contract they don't understand, and they want me to go through it. I can go through it for them, explain what it is and all that such. So yeah, that's that. But in any case, so going back to this one, right? Going back to this one where we're talking about the terms and conditions, terms of service of Skeb. So yeah, over here they specifically say this side of the document, right? All this that is in English is not the one that you have to read, the one that you can just rely on. And they specifically tell you if there's any conflict with how they describe the terms and conditions on the left hand side here, right, takes precedence. This is the one. These are the terms and conditions you need to follow. These are just explanations for you to understand only, right? A lot of legal documents always say that if they are in multiple languages, they will say which one is the most is the one that is legally binding. So for example, in Malaysia, most of the documents are either in Malay language or English language. So it has to be specified which takes precedence. But most of the time, in Malaysian laws, right, Malaysian acts, statutes, and such, they always say both are the same, because you would say for accessibility, I guess, not everyone understands English, and as well as not everyone understands Malay, and we don't want citizens of Malaysia, whereby because of language barriers, they are unable to understand a specific language, to bar them from understanding the law as well. So that's one reason. Hello, Diabear. Morbin? Why we Morbin? But in any case, so yeah, unfortunately, that is the reason why this is more or less just a very rough understanding, because we don't know exactly. I don't exactly know the Japanese language, so I can't tell you word for word what they mean. And even though I do have the translated work here, it's it's not useful. It's more or less again just to have an idea what it all means. So regardless, we'll go through this one, of course. So we'll see if there's anything important that we need to take note of. So it's most likely going to be a quick one with how I'm going through this website. But yeah. Right, let's just start, let's start reading this translation that I just quickly did a couple days ago. Right, these terms of use apply to the Skeb, hereinafter referred to as the service provided by Skeb Company Limited, formerly known, I guess this is formerly known as Sotokanda Trading Company Limited, hereinafter referred to as the operating company. So this is one party, Skeb, the company, and the other party is a user who uses this service, hereinafter referred to as user. So that's us. Anyone that may be using the website over here are considered users, not just the creators and not just the clients. Right. And we have a section that defines specific words. All right, maybe useful, maybe not useful, because translated word might be saying a different word, even though it is this word. So again, take note of that. How are you today? I am good. I'm good. I'm sweating, even though it's not sunny. I don't know why. But maybe because my hair is getting long. I need to cut my hair. But in any case, doing good, doing good. Alright, posted content means data posted, transmitted, or uploaded to the service by the user. Alright, that's easy. Works refer to posted contents created based on the rights to request specific posted content traded between users, hereinafter referred to as right to request. Okay, understand. Seller means the user who sold the request rights. Yeah, as you can see, this is really weird of how they translated it. But my guess is request rights are like art commissions, commission arts. And then we have purchaser, means the user who purchased the request rights, right? The person, the client who bought the art commission, who paid for the art commission. Then terms and policies refers to all documents created and directly posted by the operating company under the names of terms, policy, notation, and guidelines in the service, including these terms of use. All right, yeah, so easy. All right, I don't think we need to explain anything of that. And then Article 2, consent. The user may not use the service without valid and irrevocable consent to the terms and policies. This is, this is basically them saying, do you agree or not agree? If you don't agree to the TOS, you can't use this website. And thank you for the follow, Sakichu. Hello. I've seen you around in Twitter. Welcome. If you're here, say hello if you want to. Anyways, we're looking into Skeb and we're continuing with this one. So yeah, if the user is a minor, valid and irrevocable consent from a parent is required. This is normal. When a user uses this service for a business operator, the service cannot be used unless the business operator also agrees to the terms and policy. Easy to understand. Business operator would mean you're like a company of some sort, and you're using this website on behalf of the company, and if you don't have the consent or agreements for the company to be for you to using on behalf of them, then you can't use the services here. Hello, how is your day or night? I'm not sure where you're from, so I hope you're doing well. Alright, then we have, by actually using this service, users are deemed to have validly and irrevocably agreed to terms and policies. This is a standard term, but normally speaking, by just using the services of a website, of a platform, doesn't necessarily mean that you comply with terms and conditions. But you know, I guess every legal document has to put this in, just in case there is some validity over it. Normally the way for people to accept terms and conditions is forcing them to agree to it. How? By merely getting you signing a new account to the website, right? Normally if you want to use the services in the website, you have to make an account, all right? And when you make an account, there is probably a tick box, a box for you to tick and to agree to the terms and conditions. So that's where you have agreed, right? Have expressly agreed to the terms and conditions. Anyways, moving on. When purchasing the rights of request, the seller and the purchaser agree that if the purchaser uses credit card payment, the payment to the seller shall be made by the operating company on behalf of the purchaser, and a claim to the purchaser shall be made by the credit card company. I agree to be done under contract. Okay, rough translation, but it just means when you're buying art commission, when you're paying for art commissions, and that both party agrees that it's going to be using a credit card system of sorts to make those payments. Moving on. Article 3. Provision of this service. In using this service, the user must prepare the necessary personal computer, mobile phone, communication equipment. This is not really useful. This is just Skeb saying, if you want to use this website, you have to use these devices. Okay. And we have operating company may provide all or part of the service only to users who meet the age, presence or absence of identity verification, presence or absence of registration information, and other conditions that the operating company deems necessary. So I think a rough translation, but my assumption is that it means that the company, Skeb, may want to have some sort of verification documents, for identification documents for you to use the website. We'll grab some breakfast really quick. Need to go to the doctor soon. Like to have something in my tummy before. I see. Hopefully it's just a good doctor visit. No, nothing serious. Okay. And moving on, if the operating company deems it necessary, the operating company may change all or part of the content of the service or stop providing it anytime without notifying the user in advance. All right, this is how do you say, bias or not bias? This is in favor of the companies, saying that they can, refuse service to you for whatever reason. But yeah, nothing too serious, I would say. And of course, we have account. When users register information about themselves and using this service, they must provide true, accurate. Yeah, this is pretty standard. I've seen this in Twitch. I've seen this a lot of different websites. But so this all, I would assume these are all about accounts, and I don't think we really need to understand it. And we'll just skip it. Okay. I think everyone's fine with that. Article 5, ad display. The operating company may post advertisements of the operating company or third parties on service. Okay, nothing wrong. They can do whatever they want. They can advertise in their website. Totally. Article 6, attribution and license of intellectual property rights. Okay, this is something maybe we should be clear about. I'm highlighting it. The copyright and all other rights of work belong to the seller. Okay, this is important. The operating company and business operators individually permitted by the operating company may, with respect to the posted content, provide the service of this service, promote the use, improve, maintain, advertise, and advertise the operating company or this service free of charge, and it shall be possible to use and modify it non-exclusively, and the user shall consent to this. Right, so this is I've seen this a lot as well. Well, I'll explain it after reading the all these three subclauses. The operating company and business individually permitted by the operating company may omit part of the information or name display when using the posted content information in the manner specified in the preceding paragraph. Okay, this is not really that important, but yeah. So I guess this is the section, the clause that talks about copyright stuff. So in general, it seems like if there is someone who is providing art service inside Skeb, all the things that they do, all the things that they made, posted up in the Skeb, it is considered their work. They own the artwork. All right, and of course, the second paragraph and the third paragraph related means that the company itself is given the license, is given the consent to use this artwork for the purposes listed here, right? Which I'm guessing it's to, as over here, provide the service of this service. I have no idea what this exactly means. Maybe it's to improve the service, or to be used for the service, for the website, promote the website, promote the website, improve the website, maintain the website, even advertise. Yeah, use your artwork to advertise the company. All that free of charge, So meaning here there's no royalty fees, right? If they ever use your work for their own purposes, for Skeb's purposes. And also let them modify it, all right? And then it's not exclusively, as in it's you can't restrict use of your artwork, and then the user shall consent to this. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is normal. Every website is going to have this sort of clause. If we're talking about very biased, very unreasonable clause, Twitter has like one of the most unfavorable clause about copyright works, and they will say everything that they can use your work for. Anything that you posted on Twitter, they have stated you've given them the license to use whatever they want, even I think for commercial reasons or something like that. Very vague but general, can use it for anything kind of a sentence. So that's that, Right, moving on. Prohibited acts. This is something that the person who requested me to do. I want to really focus on this one. So it's about prohibited acts, right? I'm guessing it's this one. I'm gonna I have a what you call different translator, so I put that in here. Hopefully it's not is it going to? All right, it's going to do it. Okay, I put it over here. I'll try to see. Checking views of my sleep problems. Oh, okay, good. To see that this is good and such. But I also have a translation by the requester themselves, so I'll be also looking into that as well. But let's read the one which Google has translated. Right. When using this service, the user must not perform the following acts. Acts that unfairly harm the interests of right holders by making secondary use of a third party's copyrighted work. Acts that unfairly harm the interests of right holders when making secondary use of a third party's copyrighted work. Okay. What about here? In the case of secondary use of a third party's copyrighted work, acts that unreasonably harm the interests of the rights holder. My guess with this sentence, it means that users cannot have any cannot use the artwork provided to them for anything other than it has been consented to, and any acts that would be considerably harmful to the interests of the rights holder. A bit vague on this one. What is interest of the rights holder is vague. It can generally just mean that don't use the artwork that is provided to you to maybe smear the reputation of the artist, or in a way that, you know, they are not consenting to maybe you're using it for political reasons, religious reasons, all that such, and it's not something that the artist approves, which would harm their interests. But again, very vague, because it could mean anything. And then we have what's it called? Acts that infringe intellectual property rights, such as trademark rights, patent rights, honor rights, privacy rights, and other legal or contractual rights. This is easy to understand, right? Meaning to say, don't commit copyright infringement or trademark infringement or any kind of those kind of rights when you're like using the service. So basically, this would include both artists as well as clients, but more specifically artists. So they are telling artists to not make any art that would infringe rights, right? Don't make, I guess, Disney art or something like that. Don't make art that is not allowed for you to do. Fan art, probably what they are referring to is like fan art of like huge companies. Maybe they won't how do I say, obvious examples would be drawing game characters, anime characters, and such. Those are most likely things that artists do not have consent to doing and are not owned by them. They don't own those copyrighted works. So yeah, so that's that. Easy to understand. Next, with the that violate laws, court judgments, decisions, or orders, or administrative measures that are legally binding. Basically, anything that is illegal or criminal shouldn't be done. All right. And I'm guessing this is in Japan, so it's strictly what Japan thinks is illegal and all that stuff. And then we have acts that may harm public order or good morals. Oof, man, this is very vague. This is also the first time I'm seeing terms and conditions says this. Bank just made letter from yesterday. Okay, good. All right, acts that may harm public order or good morals. Let's see what the other one says. Acts that may be detrimental to public order or good morals. So roughly the same translation. Vague. This is vague, but I don't know. Public order or good morals. There's a lot of very wide-ranging stuff. You know, what is public order? What is good morals? I'm guessing this is all based on what the company thinks is harming public order and good morals. So again, no idea what this means. And I'm pretty certain they do not have a definition for this one. And then we have excessively violent expressions, sexually explicit expressions, expressions that lead to discrimination based on race, nationality, creed, gender, social status, family origin. Oh, this is interesting. I was not thinking Skeb would have this sort of prohibited action in their website. Expressions that induce or encourage suicide, self-harm, drug abuse, etc. Acts of posting or transmitting expressions that include anti-social content and cause discomfort to others. Right, so Skeb is pretty family friendly, is what I'm trying to, understanding. If all these things are not allowed, right? Violent stuff, sexual stuff, and such. So it's a pretty wholesome, family-friendly kind of website for people to use. So it's not like everything is fine. It's okay to be posted. So okay, and yeah, what surprises me is that they have a they are also not allowing people to make artwork that could be discriminative and based on race, nationality, creed, all that stuff. Okay, at least I'm seeing some progressiveness in this website, so that's good. Acts of impersonating the operating company or a third party. Okay, this is nothing to talk about, obviously. Acts of intentionally disseminating false information. Okay. Acts of transferring or lending the account of this service to a third party. Actually, what it sounds like this website is not only for art commissions but also a social platform. I guess there is some form of a messaging communication feature for people to ask for art commissions, so that makes sense, right? So, but this kind of also means that if you're using this website as an artist, you can't have some sort of a discriminative rule against specific people. So, for example, you can't have a rule to say you won't accept art commissions based on gender, race, nationality, all that stuff. So yeah, this is what I'm seeing, what I'm interpreting with this one. Let's see what the other translation says. Excessively violent expressions, sexually explicit expressions that lead to discrimination based on race, nationality, creed, gender, social status, family origin. Expressions that induce or encourage suicide, self-harm. Okay, they are the same. Now, other anti-social acts, posting or transmitting any expressions that induce or encourage discrimination based on. Alright, this is. Yeah, I don't know why it's like duplicating. Alright, good. That's trying to see if there's no mistranslation, but no, it seems like it's the same. Acts of intentionally disseminating false information, acts transferring or lending the account of this service to a third party, sales, publicity, advertisement, solicitation, or other profit-oriented acts not approved by the operating company. Okay. The act of using the work beyond personal private use without the seller's permission. Oh, this is important. So I actually seen this a couple times in our legal documents, and also this is I would believe the issue at hand, that Skeb is being used as a place for getting art commissions, but people are using these art commissions for commercial purposes, which I think people don't know, that you have to tell the artists that you're going to be using this for commercial purposes, right? So here at the very least it says in general, right? It is assumed that, you know, it is whatever you pay, whatever artwork you paid for in Skeb, it is supposed to be only used for personal private use, right? What's the other translation says? Using a work for purposes beyond personal use without the permission of the seller. Yeah, so same. Acts for the purpose of meeting or dating wait, what? Acts for the purpose of meeting or dating with unfamiliar people of the opposite sex. Okay. Actions for the purpose of meeting or dating an unacquainted member of the opposite sex. Interesting. I guess this is partly for safety reasons. No, not partly. This is for safety reasons. And for them to put this here, meaning to say it has happened before, which people have used Skeb as a place, as some sort of like a dating website, or used as a some sort of OnlyFans kind of thing, where it's not just about artworks and you're paying for something like going out on a date. Okay, this is weird. I can't date artists there. Sag, do you have a Skeb account? Yeah, this is weird, but okay. First time seeing this. Acts for the purpose of meeting, dating with, yeah, I read that. Acts aim at harassing or slandering other users. Okay, understandable. Providing benefits or other acts of cooperation with antisocial forces. Antisocial forces. They do use a lot of this word. What does antisocial forces mean though? An organized crime group. A member of an organized crime group. Okay. So now, how could it be antisocial though? Criminals, organized criminals should be, organized crime should consist of like a very social people. How else are they going to recruit people inside, right? Anyway, Japan has a definition. Wait, antisocial forces is a term applied to Japanese criminal syndicates and organized crime groups known as Boryokudan. Okay, so this is a very Japanese term, apparently. Boryokudan. I'm guessing they don't want to use the word Yakuza or something like that, I guess. Alright then. I didn't think the Yakuza will be involved in Skeb arts, but okay. Religious activities or read this one. Religious activities or soliciting to religious groups. Alright, so you can't commission artworks that are religious. Okay. Acts of illegally collecting, disclosing, or providing other people's personal information. Okay, this is doxing. Acts that interfere with the server or network system. Okay, hacking some sort of stuff. Acts of illegally operating service using bots, scraping, or other technical means. Yeah, this one. I talked to a friend about this one, but well, I don't think we need to really explain this one too much, but simply put, what this means here is they don't want people to, if anyone is using this platform, using Skeb, they don't want any users to steal art from this website for any purposes, for any illegal purposes, right? So it could mean AI art. They are not allowed, they do not accept, they do not consent to AI art. Using the website's data or whatever for the reasons of such things. But anyways, moving on. Acts of intentionally using defects of this service. Acts of intentionally using defects of this service. Don't understand. Interfering with blah blah blah. Intentional use of malfunctions in the service. I'm guessing it's exploiting the loopholes or gaps in the website or something like that. Okay. Acts of making unreasonable inquiries or requests to the operating company, such as repeating the same question more than necessary. Okay. This is funny. Acts that interfere with the operation of this service or the use of this service by other users. Okay. Acts that violate the terms of use of businesses entrusted by the operating company. Okay. Other acts that the operating company deems inappropriate. Okay, this is a catch-all sentence, right? They have all these specific ones, and then at the very last one, it's like, if I don't like what you do, I would consider it inappropriate. This is bad, all right? Just to let people know, this is a bad term. Very vague, very authoritative. But yeah, this clause, I would say, surprised me in a lot of different ways. But yeah, I think that's what I can really decipher from this one. All right, moving on. Hiding and deleting posted content. The operating company may take measures such as hiding or deleting posted content in the following cases. It is not obligated to disclose the reasons for taking these measures. All right, so they can do that. So they can hide, violate terms of determines that content infringes on the interests of third-party rights holders. Yeah, I'm guessing this is like, if there's copyright infringement, and people ask to take down those artwork, they have to comply. And the third party makes a claim to the operating company, and the operating company determines that the claim is valid. Yeah. This is nothing too important to highlight. Responsibilities of users. The users guarantee the operating company that the posted content does not violate laws. Alright, simple stuff. Nothing to be. Users shall use this service at his own responsibility and shall bear all responsibility for all actions performed in the service and results thereof. In particular, the seller shall not respond to complaints from other users at its own responsibility and expense. Shall respond, right? And shall represent and warrant that it has a system in place to respond to such complaints. Right, so meaning to say, if the artists are getting complaints, Skeb is not responsible for those sort of complaints towards the artist, which is fine, which is fair. If the operating company recognizes that a user is using this service in violation of this agreement, the operating company will take measures that the operating company deems necessary or appropriate. Okay, I think all are very general. If the economy suffers, and yeah, there's like this disclaimer clauses already. User components, the operating is a user-to-user transaction platform. Service operator stipulated in these rules for electronic commerce and information property transactions, established by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and assumes no responsibility for the work. You agreed not to be held liable for. Okay. User agrees that any disputes relating to the work shall be resolved solely between the seller and the buyer. All right then. Yeah, it's a place to facilitate art commissions, but they are saying they are not responsible for what happens between them. Okay. But again, I have absolutely no idea how Skeb works in specific details. So I'm just basing on what they are telling me in the terms and conditions here. Elimination of antisocial forces. They have a specific clause for that. I'm guessing this is like very specific to Japanese law, and they are like active removal of the criminal organizations. So I guess in the past, present, and future, the user may not be a member of an antisocial force, a gang, a member of a gang, a person who has not been a member of a gang for less than 5 years, an associate member of a gang, a company related to a gang, a corporate racketeer, etc., a social movement. Oh boy. And represent and warn that it does not fall under any of the behavior. This is very unique. Yeah, this is unique. And represent and warn that it does not fall under any of the above and acts that violate laws and regulations such as violent acts, fraudulent acts, and threatening acts, and business obstructions acts. I promise not to do anything that could be dangerous. Okay. If a user violates the provisions of the preceding paragraph, the operating company may take measures such as suspending a user's use of the service or deleting a registration without prior notice. Even if any disadvantage or damage is caused to the user as a result, operating company shall not assume any responsibility. I mean, yeah, the clause is here, but how exactly would you be able to determine if they are in a criminal syndicate or, you know, Yakuza? How is that? Actually, I'm curious now. If I type Yakuza, what happens? Oh no, I can't. I need to sign in. Oh well. Yeah, so to use the service, you really need to have an account first. So you can't say, I didn't read the terms and conditions, because they force you to do it. But anyways, if I use user file, yeah, I read this. Disclaimer, operating company, this, and yeah, the rest I don't need to read anymore. These are all general terms where every terms of service would have, right? Telling you that they are not responsible, they are not liable, they are not for anything that, you know, they might have caused damage because of their actions and such. And yeah, that's something that, you know, every terms of service has, but not necessarily enforceable. All right, then we have, yep, so this is a Japanese company, so the laws governing the use of the service here is based on Japanese law. And if there's any sort of legal dispute happening, Tokyo District Court will be the exclusive jurisdictional court of its first instance. Meaning to say, yeah, even if, let's say, the user is not residing in Japan, any sort of legal dispute directed to Skeb will have to go through to Japan's court system, legal system. All right, that's it. So this is the terms of service, roughly translated. Okay. And yeah, I don't think, let me see. I'm actually interested in if they have like a description for the Yakuza clause. Anti-social forces are not allowed to use this service. Okay. Even if a financial problem occurs when using this service, in most cases the operating company will not accept responsibility. Yeah. So they are good explanations. These English sentences over here explaining the terms of service is a good way to understand it, but specific things probably not. So let me check these the prohibited acts, the one that we are focusing on. Please do not do anything to inconvenience others. In the case of secondary creation, please respect the rights of the original author and those who produce fan-made art. Please follow secondary creation guidelines and try not to damage the rights holder for profits. Yeah, so in a way they're also saying that if someone created a art via Skeb, you can't modify it, you can't sell it, you can't do any commercial purposes for it. You just have it, right? You can have it probably for personal use, probably for your profiles or something, but you can never make verification art out of it, I guess, unless you receive permission from the artists themselves. So yeah, that's this, and we're going to look into creator guidelines where, you know, it's also a long list of things, but I would just go through the one that is important. And also I have also translated this one, so maybe I can just copy paste this entire thing, but sometimes the website's translations doesn't let you see the entire thing. Oh, they can translate the entire thing. Okay then. All right. So this right now we're looking at creator guidelines. So specifically, this legal document is informing, referring to artists using the Skeb. Right. What is Skeb? Okay. Good. They do explain what is Skeb. Skeb is a service where the client, your fan, sends a request theme for a fee, and the creator, you, creates an illustration of voices and gets a reward. Oh, okay. When they refer the client as fans, it kind of makes it even more narrow. Meaning to say, if let's say you have a favorite Japanese artist that does a lot of work for major companies and they do have a Skeb account, they could be using this to create official artworks, maybe even of that sort. As in, there might be actual big Japanese animation companies using Skeb as a form to provide fans fan art. That's interesting. Okay, so that's why. All right, that's why they are very specific about personal use rather than commercial use. To put it simply, it is a site for collecting themes with tips. Right, wait, I need to see. Is it really reward or it's translated differently? Skeb is a service where your clients, your fans, submits requests, subjects for a fee, and creators, you, get paid when they create illustrations or voices. To put it simply, it is a theme solicitation site with a throw-in fee. Okay, totally different translation. I think I'll read this one instead. Our goal is to provide a place where creators can casually draw illustrations and record voices in their spare time. So it's not just artwork, but also voice recordings. So famous voice actors will also be using this website then. Interesting. Okay. I always assumed it's only for artwork, but it can be used. It's like, what's that called? There is a similar platform where celebrities use it to like give a shout out, give a short clip for people who pay them. They'll say something, a very personalized message or something like to them. Forgot what it's called. In any case, moving on. Our goal is to provide such as between jobs or during off-peak periods at sales events. Yeah, so this is like for famous people, used by famous people. It is not suitable recruiting work. Please consider using Schema or Coconara for projects that require meetings and fee plans. Skeb is still in a beta stage of development and undergoes frequent specification changes and trial and error. We cannot accept individual inquiries or responses, except for petitions based on laws and regulations. We ask that you resolve the issue on your own. If we deem it difficult to continue, we will terminate the service. Okay. Features of Skeb. Skeb has several features not found in other services. It is designed to give creators an advantage. There is only one round of communication with the client. Receive requests and deliver. All communication regarding estimates, meetings, retakes, and requests is prohibited. Oh, okay. So there's no back and forth communication when it comes to Skeb. You have a specific request, and that's what you get. That's the only thing you are getting. There's no changes, add-ons, and all that stuff, and any other type of information you'll be getting. So even estimates. So the general timeline for something to be finished is not it's not done in a more organic way, a natural way, like sending messages and such. Okay. The communication less common rule minimizes hassles other than communication less common rule minimizes hassles other than drawing, such as never-ending retake troubles and worrying about the wordings of emails. An automatic translation function comes standard. Okay. So I guess this is quite nice for simple art commissions. Simple art commissions and people who don't have like very specific type of art commission they really want. They just want this artist to draw however they like based on a brief description. Okay then. And an automatic translation function comes standard. So there is some sort of like a in-app translation between different languages, I guess. Requests can be solicited from overseas fan. Yeah, so yeah, people from outside Japan can use Skeb. Currently about 20% of the clients are from overseas. Ooh, I'm guessing this is a huge number. 20% is not small. Draw only the requests you like. Yeah, this is telling the creators what they can do, what they should be doing. So only draw what is requested. You don't have to draw all the requests you receive. Please approve only the requests that you want to draw. Okay. Even if you cancel a request, we will not explain the reason to the client or notify the client of a proactive cancellation. Ah, so anonymous cancellation. You know, people can request, but they will not be made known whether the request has been accepted on, whether the request has been rejected or not. For all you know, the very first time you request, they would have already rejected, and you think they are still busy or something. But I guess this makes it pretty safe in the sense that you won't be bothered. How do you say? You won't be constantly bothered by people who sends in requests because you cancel them and they request again and they cancel and they request again. So good. This is good. Avoid unpaid rewards. Avoid unpaid rewards. I'm guessing meaning to say don't work on something before you get paid. Rewards are kept by the management at the time of approving a request, which avoids unpaid rewards. Oh, no. Oh, this means that don't get paid and then not work. Well, this is weird. Wait, let me see. Avoid non-payment of compensation. The reward is kept by the management, so you can avoid unpaid rewards. Oh, no, man, this is confusing. What this means is you don't get paid and then only do the artwork, but when you accept a request and you finish the artwork and you tell the client that you finished the artwork, but it won't be sent to the client until the payment has been made. Okay. How is that done? I'm not so certain, but okay. Good. If you... Rewards are kept by the... If you miss the deadline, you can rest assured that the full amount will be refunded to the client. There is no penalty. Oh, good. So it's fine if you miss the deadline. They just don't get the artwork and the money gets refunded back to the client. Rewards are delivered in 10 seconds after delivery. Delivery what? Delivery of payment? But also why specifically 10 seconds? Ethereal cycles are the fastest in the industry. Oh, wait, sorry. Fastest payout cycle in the industry. Interesting. With our zero time transfer feature and cash, You will receive your rewards immediately after submitting your withdrawal request. Okay. No transfer of rights. All copyrights belong to the creators. This is important as well, which I've highlighted. Creators can freely post and publish on SNS, doujinshi, and Patreon services without the client's permission. We welcome work distribution and publication of progress. Clients can use it for profile pictures and personal viewing only. Okay, this is good. We have a specific permission for what it can be used. Can only be used for profile pictures and personal viewing only. Clients may use the work only for use in profile images and for personal viewing. We do not enclose creators. So this is, I have no idea what this means. I've seen it translated two different ways. For Google, it says we do not surround creators. I'm guessing it's like restrict creators, like prevent creators from doing something. But man, that's only my interpretation. Creators are free to post and publish on fanzines and Patreon services without the client's permission. Creators are free to post and publish their work on SNS without client's permission. Works distribution and publication of work in progresses are welcome. Yeah, so meaning to say, even if after the artwork is done, they can still use it for their own purposes. Creators can still use the artwork for their own purposes, probably for their portfolio, as well as advertisement of any sorts, to showcase their artwork. All right, that's good. You may deal directly with clients you have met through Skeb the next time you meet them, although other services may prohibit this. Okay, I kind of understand what this. It may be cheaper to deal directly with the client if it's trustworthy through Skeb. If you are convinced through Skeb that the client is trustworthy, you may save money on commissions by dealing directly with them. I'm guessing it's kind of saying that Skeb is probably getting some sort of commission for providing this service and providing a safe and secure service, and they are not restricting the creators from making deals outside of Skeb. Okay, now it makes sense. But yeah, enclosed creator or surround creator is not really the accurate translation, but you can guess what it means. You can kind of guess what it means, right? And we have special precautions for sustainable operation. We should read all the terms, policies. Among them, we've summarized the points that you should definitely protect. Alright. Oh yeah, so this is like a lot of let me see. I think this is also important. How you can deal with clients. Do not conduct meetings or retakes via Twitter DM or email, either before or after the meeting. In the past we had problems such as Mr. A had a meeting with us, but you didn't. I see. In addition, since the text of the fan art is analyzed to determine fan art for the secondary creation authorization program, if the content is not complete within the text, it cannot accurately return to the original creator. Man, this is confusing. What about Google Translation? In addition, since the text is analyzed when judging the fan art of the derivative creation official program, if the content is not complete within the text, it would not be possible to give an accurate return to the original author. No idea what this means at all. It's a question mark. What this means? Please consider using Schema Cocola for projects that require meetings. Yeah. So at the very least, I understand Skeb is not to be used for complicated art commissions. You know, Skeb cannot be used as a means of a person-to-person money transfer. Cannot be used as a means of person-to-person remittance due to restrictions based on the Payment Services Act and anti-money laundering measures. Requests written only with an A example matter and thank you will be invalid. So meaning to say, don't use this as a way to money launder. Create basically, for example, don't create an account in Skeb and like put up a empty stall, but somehow people are paying you for that empty stall, empty service, no service. That is very sus and could be considered anti-money laundering. That's okay. It's the same thing as Twitch. You know, Twitch also does not allow people to use the bits function as some sort of money function directly. It's not supposed to be treated as like a actual currency. Do not set local rules. Please do not impose restrictions beyond the service common rules on this client, such as please send requests only to those who have confirmed this URL. We aim to create an environment where clients, including overseas users, can easily send requests. What about how DeepL translates? Please do not impose any restrictions on clients beyond the common rules of the service, such as please send your request only if you have confirmed this URL. We aim to create an environment where clients easily send requests. Right, so no local rules. So whatever Skeb has rules on how the request is to be done, and that's it. Then you can't add extra rules. Me kind of makes sense as well, because we have in their terms of service where they talk about you can't like be discriminative and all that stuff. So this would be in line with the guideline here. Question: you are not allowed to say you don't want to draw certain queries, for example, things, but you can decline requests when you don't want to draw it, right? Yes, you can't explicitly say the reason for withdrawing, or even if, let's say, when you don't accept the request, right, you can't put it in your profile to say that you don't do such and such things, because it could be implied that you're discriminating, even though it might be for logical reasons, such as not having the required skills to do such kind of such a artwork, right? The better way to how do I say this? The better way to phrase this is that you probably should specify what kind of art you do, right? Rather than specify what kind of art you don't do, right? That would be me, all right? That would be me and how I would do it to avoid any misunderstanding, right? But yeah, you most definitely can reject a request via this Skeb without telling them that you're rejecting the request because you don't like furries, or you don't like LGBTQIA plus community, that type of art, like male and male or female and female type of art that depicts them in a romantic relationship, a loving relationship as such. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. I think the rest here is very technical stuff, and I don't really want to get into it. So this is like telling you what kind of things that you can use the Skeb for, right? So you can use it for illustrations, comics, voices, text, movies, and music. All right, even movies and music. What about DeepL says? Same thing. Okay. So we have like illustrations directly by the creator, voice, so creator. So all this has to be done by the creator. Not possible to deliver part of the AI generated data other than illustrations. Wait. We have specifics about AI art. Let me see. You may not deliver 3D models, screenshots, or AI generated data in whole or in part other than illustrations or cartoons in the illustration genre. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. So Skeb is not a supporter of AI art. But also, I don't know, for whatever reasons, they do not accept 3D models as well. They don't allow creators to do 3D models and screenshots. I don't know what that means, but yeah, this is interesting. So we are learning a lot of things about Skeb. First, we learned that it's somewhat progressive, and now we are learning that they're also against AI art. Well, this is rad. Let me just use a different highlight. In addition, reading commercial books, singing using synthetic voice software, and live-action NSFW are prohibited in all genres. Please note. In addition, it is also a violation of the terms to deliver in a format different from the specified genre. Okay. So yeah, they're telling you anything that is used for commercial purposes. Reading a book that is copyrighted, I'm guessing, or doing a song cover, or using a synthetic voice software. I'm guessing this is Vocaloids. And NSFW of live action are prohibited in all genres. Please be aware of this, right? So yeah, you can't do cover work. You know, you can't do like a audiobook reading. In addition, it is also a violation of the terms of the format given for the specified genre. Start and stop recruitment in order to prevent fraudulent use of credit cards. You refuse to solicit requests such as when the usage history of the linked Twitter account is shallow. Once you start collecting requests, Twitter follower clients with Skeb accounts will receive an internet initiation email. Also, yeah, one thing I noticed is that to use Skeb, you have to have a Twitter account. So Skeb is directly using Twitter as a platform to connect users. Okay. Then we have what else? Apologies, you know. More or less, we were just reading through, trying to understand what Skeb is all about. And please cancel requests that you do not want to draw as early as possible. If you approve by mistake, please wait until the deadline has passed. The act of requesting materials by DM is a violation of the rules. Ah. Okay, need to go now. Doctor time, see you later. Alright, goodbye. Guessing the doctor you're visiting is also the last time. That's very nearby or something. Hope you have a good walk. Okay, be careful. Alright. And an unapproved request can also be voluntarily cancelled by the client. Requests for self-made performance are prohibited to prevent unauthorized use. If there is suspicion of self-made performance, what is self-made performance? Probably a mistranslation here. And this function, when we start accepting requests, an opening email will be sent to the clients of a Twitter followers who have Skeb accounts. If the Twitter account from which you are linking is a key account, you will not be able to solicit requests. Only one start email will be sent to each client. Stopping or solicitation of requests does not cancel requests awaiting approval. Once you receive a request, you must approve it before you can start drawing. Rewards will not be secured until you approve the request. Materials should be downloaded at the time of approval. Please do not approve requests for which the materials cannot be verified, or requests which with incorrect NSFW settings. Wait, there can be NSFs not safe for work? I guess there can be some sort of like lewd art. Doesn't really say. Wait, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it's a totally different translation over here. Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm reading the wrong thing. The NSFW is misconfigured. If you approve by mistake, request self-made. Yeah, this one I have not found the one that I want to read. To prevent abuse, self-made requests are prohibited. If a self-made request is suspected, the request will be cancelled or hidden. Okay, I guess this means that you, the creator yourself, made a request to yourself. Alright, if the period between approval and delivery is if you wish to cancel an approved request immediately, you may use the give up function to do so. Yeah, this is very technical stuff. I'll skip all this stuff. Mountain completion, omakase amount, minimum amount. I have no idea what this is. There's very specific things we don't really need to know. Deliverable file specifications, and delivering illustrations, delivering voice, text, movie, music, advice, thumbnail, cases of refusal of delivery. Delivery may be refused depending on the contents of the PSD. Files for which obfuscation can be separated will display an error upon delivery. Errors displayed, please change the layer structure or change the file format to PNG and try again. Even if it is actually impossible to separate the obfuscation process, the management side cannot handle it individually. Note that. Right, copyright. So we have another section about copyright in the guidelines. Creators have the right to freely post and publish on NSS, Doujinshi, and Patreon services without the client's permission. Right, this is the same thing as the TOS. We welcome work distribution and publication of progress. Okay. This right cannot be restricted by the client. Please do not ask the client for permission to post. So yeah, meaning to say the client can't tell you, you can't advertise the artwork. You can if they are using this service. In principle, the client can use the work only for personal appreciation. Aha. Yeah, over here they say it again. If it is, oh man, red is really red. If it is used for other purposes, it must be stated in text. In the text. In principle, this is something I have no idea. Copyright. How the hell do I know what is copyright in Japanese? I'm guessing this is the one. Copyrights. All right. Creators have In principle, the client may only use the work for personal viewing. Any other use must be stated in the text. In the text. What text though? I have no idea. As an exception, only social networking accounts linked to the client may tweet with the data attached or use it as a profile image without the creator's permission. Yeah, so if it can be used for commercial use, they are saying it has to be because this is a guideline for creators. Guideline for creators. So it's the creator who decides whether this can be used for commercial or not. So on the client side of things, they can't demand for anything other than what type of artwork they want, what type of commission they want. Okay. As an exception, it is possible to attach data in a print and deliver function currently being provided. The operating company may print the work as a poster or canvas art and deliver it domestically and internationally at the request of the client. Oh, okay. They also provide such work as well. An actual physical artwork can be delivered, and Skeb has that function. Skeb has that service apparently. Only one client can use each work, and the operating company will not sell it to an unspecified number of people. So yeah, whoever requested or have gotten the artwork is the one that can only use them. The management may reduce the sizes to generate thumbnails or quote screenshots of a service. The rights of the work belong to the creator, but the creators also bears all responsibility. Please act responsibly. Let me see the other translation for that. The rights to the work belong to the creator, but the creator also bears. Yeah, same thing. Please be sure to follow the secondary creation guidelines for each work for secondary creation. So yeah, the meaning to say, once you have a original work and then you want the same artist, or you want to do another work based on that original work, I guess there's a different guideline, which I have no idea how to read. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. It's all in Japanese. And they have pictures, which I can't really directly translate these pictures. But yeah. Okay. Well, in any case, that's it from what I can see about the copyright stuff. Request type, there are 3 types of requests: public or not, anonymous, and hidden. Anonymous doesn't know who the client is. Hidden is only hidden on Skeb and can be freely published on SNS and doujinshi without the client's permission, just like public works. Addressed for request where the address setting is preferred, please enter the client's name. In the case of illustrations, for voice without the client's name, creators can choose whether or not. Alright. And SFW is set for requests that the client deems to be sensitive to viewing. One of the criteria for judging whether or not it is NSW is whether it's okay to post it as a poster on the street. Okay. All these illustrations are scanned with an image recognition system from delivery and may be marked as NSW. NSW cannot be removed. Also, setting age-restricted images in your profile, such as icons and headers, violates Twitter's terms of service. Since your profile will be posted where everyone can see it, you may refuse to create a Skeb account for you. Automatic translation, request fee, boost fee, withdrawal of sales, reversal fee, very technical stuff. All these are technical stuff, which I don't want to get into. Notation based on the act of specified commercial transactions. It is legally required to disclose the name, address. Okay, technical stuff. Right, that's it. I think the most important thing about this one is that you can't, if you're a creator, if you're an artist, you can't use this for the purposes of providing 3D models, as well as AI art generators for those that are consider themselves AI artists. All right. So that's something. And as well as, from what I can tell here, it's absolutely, at least in principle, in general, whenever you are requesting for artwork done, for anything to be done through Skeb, anything you have made is still yours. You're just giving it to someone for their personal use, for their personal consumption. So it's in a way, clients are only paying you the license to use it personally, right? Just like maybe like how when you bought a physical artwork, and the only thing you can do with that is not sell it to anyone. You can't sell it to anyone because you only have a license to I don't think that's a really the that's not really accurate an analogy. More accurate analogy would be you ask an artist to make an art for you, but all the ownership, all the rights to that artwork is still retained by the artist. And if the artists go and present their artwork in a museum, art exhibition or something like that, you can't do anything about it because it's still owned by them. But you probably can have a a copy of it, put in your own home for your own use. Other than that, you can't do anything with it. So yeah, that's something that people should know. It's not where you ask to make PNGs. I would say, like not a place where you ask people to make live 2D models. Not a place for people to ask to make PNG tubers, GIF tubers, all that sort of things, where it's possibly you are going to be using it for commercial purposes. It won't be seen as used for personal reasons, personal purposes, private purposes. So that's that. And in terms of copyright stuff, yeah, again it says client can use the artwork only for personal appreciation unless the creator says otherwise. Like, say it tells you that you can use it for something else. Could be commercial, could be not commercial, something else. But that's the right of the creator, not the client. Client cannot ask them to or tell them that they will be using this for commercial purposes, but because that's not how this website works. Apparently, the rights for the work belong to the creator, but the creator also bears all responsibility. Yeah. So again, they emphasize again that whatever the creators do, produce, it's still owned by them, right? So that's what I'm taking out of this guideline at the very least, and everything else is mostly technical things that you have to follow, and I don't think it's important to really highlight. So the only thing left we need to look into is the client guidelines, which thankfully they have English version of it, although it is very short, and I'm guessing this is for overseas international users to read, because most likely probably difficult for international users to be creators in this website. Maybe it's not that friendly for people, for non-Japanese speakers. I'm not sure. Again, just speculating. People can always correct me afterwards. About sending requests, right? Skeb is a service that supports creators through paid requests. Retakes, meetings, and price estimates are not available. So this is something people need to take note, right? It's a simple request. You can't do anything like ask them to add more details, or have like private meetings or private conversations to talk about anything else. And then also price estimates. It means to say if the listings they put out is as provided price, that is the price. There can't be negotiations, I guess, or it can't be bargaining happening. Now, communication outside of the body of the request, such as meetings via direct message on Twitter, is prohibited. Yeah, so you can't talk if you're using Skeb. If you're found out to be talking to the creators directly via Twitter, that is wrong. Clients do not own copyrights of deliverables. Yeah, this is also very important. As an exception, clients can post them or use them as a profile pictures. Only profile pictures. Okay, profile pictures without their creator's permission on SNS accounts associated with the clients. If you wish to make a secondary use that is beyond the scope of personal use, please indicate so in the body of sending requests. So, okay, you can indicate it. All right, good. This is something I think I have to highlight in different color. The body of the request and client information will be made public after the work is delivered. The amount of money will not be disclosed. Okay, if you set a hide setting when submitting requests, it will not appear on the service, but the creator may republish it outside of Skeb. Please be sure to set NSFW for requests with extreme content. Failure to do so will result in account suspension. Each time a request is sent, the creator will be notified by email. If you cancel a request before approval, you may not be able to send the same amount as before to the creator for a certain period of time. Yeah, so this is like to prevent spamming, request spamming, all right? Payment can be made by credit card using Visa, MasterCard, JCB, Discover, or American Express, or by Skeb points. Skeb points can be purchased by bank transfer, pay easy, or convenience store payment. Payment is settled in Japanese yen. When sending a request with credit card payment, credit will be secured. Once the creator approves the request, the payment will be made. Okay, debit and prepaid cards are not recommended as the payment is settled when the request is submitted. If points are used, they will be deducted from the point balance when you request. If the creator approves your request but does not deliver, you will be automatically receive a full refund. A credit card refund time depends on your credit card company. The operation cannot answer this question. Creator may deliver work that does not necessarily fit with the order description, and the creator does not make modifications. Okay, this is important, I guess. Oops. Important in the sense that, yeah, for clients that has a lot of specific details, this is not the service that you want to use. Please check out their previous work and carefully choose a creator to request. Company will not mediate disputes to do with works such as differences in designs. After delivery, any act of forcing the creator to make unjustified revisions or forcing the creator to do something is a violation of the terms of service. It will be subject to immediate suspension of the account. Ooh, they are very strict with this. They are very strict with informing clients that they can't be fussy. They can't be they can't raise too much complaint. They can't raise complaints actually against creators, against artists. So that's that. Oh boy, this is short but also informative for any person outside of the Japan to understand what they require for clients. But suffice to say, this is, I would say, it's sufficient. It's sufficient for people to know what they need to know about when using Skeb to make artwork for them. Quick, simple, clear. There's no vagueness in this. So yeah, that's it. I'm not sure what else I can really say about it, but yeah, I'm actually surprised what people don't know. I've been what I've heard, is that people are using this for commercial purposes, which is, it's not supposed to be such, unless you are aware what the artists are allowing you to do, because as far as you can see here, it's either you tell the artist whether you want to have this art for commercial use or for other other types of use, or the creators themselves, the seller themselves, tell you that you are able to use this for something more, right? So you have to be careful with that. You have to be careful specifically on this, right? Probably there are, Skeb creators where you're able to use a lot of the you are able to request for stuff that can be used for commercial purposes. But all right. Anyways, I think that's me. I'm gonna say that's how it's what I can talk about the Skeb, and hopefully people understand what it is all about. And yeah, so without further ado, if anyone is in chat has any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm gonna check if there is questions in Telenomine. No questions. All right. Yep. I don't think we have anything in particular. Let me hydrate a bit. It is what I was expecting. There wasn't much for me to, get into too much. Most of the stuff is technical, as in how to use the Skeb and the technical requirements and probably legal requirements as well. And the only issue I can see is copyright stuff. Yeah, I think this would be quite enlightening for anyone that is interested in using Skeb. All right. Right, if there's no more questions, I will be ending this legal investigations, and I think we'll wind down a bit afterwards. But to all that is watching this VOD, I hope it was fun. It was a quick one. It's less than 2 hours, but still, I would say relatively quick for us to go through. And again, this is a very how do I say? Rough translation of a rough understanding of what the legal documents, some of the legal documents found in Skeb. So there might be mistakes, but I don't think they are big mistakes in the sense of understanding in general what they mean, what they want us to understand, and what our obligations are right? I think the Google translation as well as the DeepL translation did a good job. Most of it, except for that one instance. So yeah, thank you so much, and hope you enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, leave down in the comments. And if you like what you see, like the video and subscribe for more in the future. So yeah, take care, stay hopeful, but be critical. Bye bye.